2024 was a year that transformed India in many ways. As we welcome 2025, here's a look at the top 15 headlines of 2024 in no particular order. Let's start with the Ram Temple consecration. Now, India witnessed a major shift in its politics and culture with the Ram Temple Pran Pratishtha ceremony in January in Ayodhya. It saw a convergence of state power and religion. The ceremony was led by Prime Minister Modi. 2024 was the year of India's most awaited general elections. A lot was at stake and the outcome surprised many. While Prime Minister Modi took oath as Prime Minister for a record third term, with a slightly less decisive mandate, it was his first time heading a coalition government. The opposition too improved its tally, with Rahul Gandhi becoming the leader of opposition. Now, Lok Sabha elections created a world record by registering over 642 million people's votes, with 312 million women voting. It is over 1.25 times the voters of 27 countries in the European Union. If you talk about elections, there was another first. I'm talking about Jammu and Kashmir. This was the first time assembly elections took place in J&K in over a decade and the first time since the abrogation of Article 370. Another historic moment was when the Supreme Court struck down the electoral bond scheme, calling it unconstitutional. The scheme allowed people to make anonymous donations to political parties. It was launched by the Modi government in 2018. In a stunning development, the CBI arrested Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal in the Delhi excise policy case. He became the first sitting Chief Minister to be arrested while in office. The Supreme Court granted him bail in September 2024 in the case after he served more than 5 months in prison. Moving on, let's talk about this controversy that impacted lakhs of students and their parents across the country. I'm talking about the NEET row. It spread like a wildfire across the country. Complaints emerged of mass paper leak and discrepancies in marking. Later, the Supreme Court refused to cancel the entrance test while observing that there was no material on record to prove that a systemic leak of question papers has destroyed the sanctity of the exams. From medical students' pain to another medical student's horror, I'm talking about the unfortunate RG Kar rape and murder case in which a 31-year-old postgraduate trainee doctor was brutalized in Kolkata in the most unspeakable way. The junior doctors in West Bengal undertook a strike for 42 days demanding a thorough probe of the incident, while doctors across the country took to the streets demanding justice for her. Meanwhile, around the same time, the long-awaited Hema Committee report got released and exposed the disturbing realities of the Malayalam film industry, also known as Kerala's Me Too movement. In 2024, India lost its Ratan. One of the biggest corporate titans, Ratan Tata, the man who led the Tata Group for more than 2 decades, passed away at the age of 86. He left behind a legacy of leadership and philanthropy. The year also witnessed several tragedies and crimes that became national headlines. Whether it was the Pune car crash involving a luxury car that claimed the lives of 2 IT professionals, sparking national outrage and demands for stricter traffic laws, or the Rajkot gaming fire tragedy when a fire broke out at a gaming zone in Gujarat's Rajkot that killed 33 people. And who can forget the horrific Mumbai hoarding collapse when a billboard in the Ghatkopar suburb collapsed due to heavy rains. 17 people were killed and more than 75 were injured. 2 villages completely vanished in Kerala's Wayanad after they were struck by massive landslides. 254 people lost their lives and around 400 people were injured. Manipur continued to remain tense this year as well due to the ongoing ethnic violence between the Meiteis and the Kuki community. At least 250 people have died and 60,000 have been uprooted in Manipur since May last year in inter-communal clashes over government grants and quotas in jobs and education. Another massive development, One Nation, One Election. Now, the centre tabled the ambitious One Nation, One Election bill in Parliament, and the bill, remember, seeks to synchronize the Lok Sabha elections, the state assembly elections and local body elections across India at the same time. While the government claimed it will make the election process smoother, the opposition said it will destroy regional parties forever. Another headline that shook corporate India was when Indian billionaire Gautam Adani was indicted by the US prosecutors for his alleged role in a $265 million scheme to bribe Indian officials. The Adani Group has, however, denied all these allegations. However, it was a glorious year for India's sports fans. They cheered for Team India, they cried with them, and who can forget the historic moment when Team India lifted the T20 World Cup. Indians also applauded every single medal that was won at the Olympics and the Paralympic Games in Paris. And we ended the year on such a glorious note with the victory of the world's youngest chess champion, India's, and the world's new chess hero, Gukesh. With that, it's a wrap on this special piece that's summing up what happened in India in 2024. We wish you a very happy new year.
Well, thanks so much for tuning in to CNBC TV18. Make sure you follow us and stay updated on all our social media platforms.